What's up, desktopers? Xavier Wills here for Desktop Bodybuilding, and in this video we're discussing Big Ramy's newest physique updates. Are his delts better or worse? Goodvito 7.5 weeks out at his most impressive yet. Brandon Hardy making his pro debut. Jerry Ward's official cause of death. Ramon Dino calls out Chris Bumstead, plus much more. I hope you guys enjoy the video. What's up, desktopers? Now let's get straight into this one. So we'll start with Goodvito Vitaliy Ugolnikov, looking super impressive at 7.5 weeks out of that show where he's actually making the switch from the IFBB Elite League to the NPC and the IFBB Pro League. Obviously, if he goes on to get that IFBB Pro card. And you got to say, he's definitely got to be the front runner to get that IFBB Pro card. I don't know who else is out there that's going to be competing against him. We did see one guy that looked really impressive as well, but not to the level, I believe, of Vitaliy Ugolnikov. Unless Vitaliy misses his conditioning, if this other guy comes in shredded, it seems like it's going to be a foregone conclusion that Vitaliy is actually going to win this Pro card, because here you can see the quads are absolutely outrageous. We knew that already, but you can just see how impressive they are. He's got a lot of thickness. He's still super young, only I think 25 years of age, and you can see a transformation here between when he was 19 years old compared to 25. And you know, you got to compare him, I guess, to other 25-year-olds that are in the IFBB Pro League right now, like Martin Fitzwater, who does the Bodybuilding University podcast with myself, Brett Wilkin, and Nathan Diasha. I'd love to see these guys stand next to each other on stage, because Vitaliy obviously gets a huge amount of hype and notoriety from being this guy that could come into the IFBB Pro League and absolutely kill it, and everyone's saying how young he is. But people forget guys like Martin Fitzwater are only 25 right now, and you know, taking second to Andrew Jacked, and could definitely qualify for that Olympia and do quite well at 25 as well. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Who would win between Vitaliy Ugolnikov, Goodvito, and Martin Fitzwater as they currently are right now? I mean, in terms of Vitaliy in 7.5 weeks time. Let me know who you think would win that contest. Now, our next story is about Ramon Dino calling out Chris Bumstead on the latest podcast, I believe on the Mr. Olympia channel, hosted by Tarek El Gindi. There's also Bob Chicarello on there, Rough Diesel, Terrence Ruffin, Urs Kalasinski, Breon Ansley, and Ramon Dino. So here's what Ramon had to say in response to basically Chris Bumstead saying it's a foregone conclusion that he's going to win the Mr. Olympia.
Chris Bumstead said that all these guys are fighting for second. And do you agree or disagree with that statement? And Ramon said, I disagree with his statement, and he's going to get surprised at the Mr. Olympia.
So that's a pretty cool podcast, and it was awesome to hear from all the top classic physique guys, minus Chris Bumstead. I would have loved to have actually seen Cbum on there, but I'm sure we'll see him in some sort of other feature on the Mr. Olympia channel as well. And obviously the invitation is always open for Chris Bumstead to come on Desktop Bodybuilding, because I'd absolutely love to interview him. But the most recent physique updates from Ramon Dino, he looks pretty damn good. I mean, I've got to say, like, he looks in good condition. He looks really dense. His back has sort of been the knock on him, but it seems like his back's a lot thicker now. Yeah, he can add a little bit more width to it, but overall, it looks like he's really filling out this classic physique class, and it seems like he's sort of going to be contending for that Mr. Olympia title in the classic physique. So let me know what you think in the comments below. How will Ramon Dino do at the classic physique Olympia this year, and how will the other guys do, like Terrence Ruffin, Breon Ansley, Urs, and everyone else that's in that classic physique class? Now, next story, we're discussing Ross Flanigan, the owner of Flavor Gang. And that's part of the reason why I wanted to feature on here, because a lot of people wouldn't know how impressive the owner of Flavor Gang actually looks, because this is his off-season sort of update. He's in a holding period, and he's made some tremendous gains. He made his pro debut this year. Looked really good, but it looked like he had a little bit more to go to get to sort of those top 5 placings in pro shows. But seems like he's made some very impressive gains. It seems like he went straight into almost like a rebound straight after that pro contest, and whatever he's doing, it is definitely working. So yeah, I think he's going to make an impact next year when he stands on stage once again. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Our next story is about the passing of Jerry Ward. There has been a cause of death revealed by his wife in this video, posted on Jerry Ward's Instagram page. So if you want to go watch the full thing, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check out that video as well, where she basically sort of explains things and says she wanted to come directly from her, so there's no more rumors or all that sort of stuff going around, as there is when someone of note passes away in the bodybuilding community. So it was actually a pulmonary embolism, and it was caused by deep vein thrombosis, which you'd think, okay, well, he flew to the contest, maybe he's flying around a bit more, but he had no long flights and he had no surgeries. So sort of surprising, because that's typically, you hear of people getting deep vein thrombosis from flying and things like that and surgeries, but neither of those things happened for Jerry Ward. So incredibly unlucky and unfortunate. She did say that he wasn't feeling the best, but she's sort of expecting that with, obviously going to these contests, commentating them. He had a few athletes in the show as well. Sort of, she wasn't expecting him to get a full amount of rest, and feeling not great is not that, I suppose, surprising. Unless it's something that feels very serious, then you're probably not going to go to the emergency room or whatever as well. So incredibly, obviously, the whole situation is very unfortunate, but credit to his wife for getting on there and being brave enough to, speak out to people, and she knows that's going to be watched by a lot of people. So credit to her, and I hope her and Jerry's friends and family and all that are doing well in the circumstances. Our next story is probably the one that you're watching this video for, and it's Big Ramy 15 weeks out of the 2022 Mr. Olympia, going for title number 3. Looking damn impressive. I've got to tell you, this physique update actually impresses me more than the last lot of physique updates. He's got a lot of muscle this far out from the Olympia. He's in good condition this far out from the Olympia. He's got Dennis James out there training him. I'm very encouraged by all the signs we're seeing coming out from the Big Ramy camp, and I think they know that if he doesn't come in 100%, he's probably not going to win that Mr. Olympia title in 2022. So the way he's looking right now, I think we're going to see a very, very close to Big Ramy 100%. Now, everyone's going to be looking at the delts. I actually had someone say on Instagram that I accused Ramy of SEO use. I never actually did that, which is site enhancement oils, for those who don't know what SEOs is, which typically means like a synthol or a pump and pose, that sort of type of synthol product. Now, I don't think he's put synthol in his delts at all, because why would you put synthol in your shoulders? Because it's not something that's, typically very advantageous. It's typically used in the biceps and triceps and things like that. So I didn't accuse him of that at all. I thought he's probably putting his shots in there where you can develop scar tissue, and that can be an issue on stage. They don't care if it's actually synthol or if it's scar tissue. If it doesn't look good, it doesn't look good. But my summary was that I believe this will calm down. It probably won't be an issue, but could it be potentially? If he kept hitting his shoulders, then potentially that scar tissue could grow, and he could have an issue like Hardy Chupin does at the moment with his delts. Now, I don't think that's going to happen, but it could, because his delts have changed over the years. Now, I'll show you this front lat spread. So this is the most recent physique update front lat spread. And you can see the delts are sticking up a fair bit, but this is the pose which, if your delts are going to stick up at all, if they look funky, this is where they're going to look the most funky. But let's go back to the 2013 New York Pro. You can see there's still a bit of pointiness to the delts in that shot, but I wanted to get a better angle so we can see it a little bit clearer. 2014 Mr. Olympia, I was actually at this contest. You can see the delts are more rounded. They're not as pokey. It sort of flows a little bit better than the most recent physique updates with his overall physique. And I believe actually Dennis James prepped Big Ramy for that 2014 Mr. Olympia. I might be wrong, I'm not sure. And then we go to the 2020 Mr. Olympia, where Ramy's, wins his first Mr. Olympia. He's really filled out there. He's in great condition. Looks really good. You can see the delta poking up, probably a little bit more than that 2014 version. And then we go to 2021, and you can see the left delt actually is the one that's sticking up more. And that other physique updates, his right one was sticking up a little bit more. So that suggests to me it's probably just shots in his delts that he's done. He's gone and trained. Obviously, he's got more inflamed, and then it just sort of sticks up like that. I don't think it's going to be an issue. It could be, but I don't think it will be. But let me know what you think about Ramy's most recent physique updates in the comments below. I'm impressed. Are you impressed? And do you think Ramy will win the 2022 Mr. Olympia? Now, in our next story, Brandon Harding has announced that he's competing in the French Yamamoto Pro in 3 weeks' time from this weekend. And I've got to say, I'm a little bit surprised, because I thought he needed a muscle. I thought he might wait it out, but he might just be getting a gauge on where he's at in terms of the pro level. He might go, okay, he might compete and go, I need another 10 pounds, or I need another 5 pounds, or I need to do this, or whatever. But if he can fill out a little bit more based on his conditioning from this pro qualifier, then I think he can do pretty well. I don't know if he'll be, getting a win or a top 3 or even a top 5. But I don't know how many guys are obviously doing it as well. I don't know the quality, all that sort of stuff. But I think he will beat some guys potentially, but I think he needs overall more mass to actually compete as a top pro. And we have one physique update to wrap up the show. It's from someone competing this weekend. It's Vlad Sukeruchko, just days out from the Yamamoto Cup in Italy, where I believe it's $20,000 prize money for first place. So I'm surprised there's not more guys doing this show. You can see the competitors list on the screen now. There will be a preview out as well from the Bodybuilding University podcast. Probably the next video or the one after, so make sure you keep an eye out for that one. But overall, I've got to say he looks pretty damn good in these physique updates. I will say though, however, in that most muscular one, his abs do look maybe a little bit blown out or a little bit distended. I'm not sure if it's just for photo or the lighting or what it is, but I'm hoping that's not the case, and I hope he comes in really great condition with a good amount of fullness and, potentially wins this show and qualifies for the 2022 Mr. Olympia. Anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you liked and appreciate this content, please give the video a thumbs up, smash that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell button. It really helps me out, and that way you'll be notified of every video that goes up for myself, Xavier Wills at Desktop Bodybuilding. Plus, I have a new podcast coming out. It's going to be a live podcast. We're probably going to do it on like a Saturday morning Australian time, which is evening US time, which is probably midday UK time, something like that. So it's going to be basically based around listener questions that are submitted live. So make sure you do check that one out. I'll put up the times and everything on the Desktop Bodybuilding Instagram page, but make sure you do check that out. And also Bodybuilding University is coming out very soon after this video as well. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. I'm Xavier Wills. This is Desktop Bodybuilding, and we are out.